Hey, hey, hey. It's your one and only host of That's 86 podcast, Theo. And I'm joined by your one and only other host of That's 86 podcast, Bryant. And we are here today, almost on time once again. How y'all doing? Give them time to answer, you know? Well, yeah, we good. How you doing, dude?
Well, I'm doing fantastic. Thank you for that intro. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, man. So, I just been, sitting back, kicking it, kind of considering, what we might be talking about today. I was kicking a bunch of things here and there, back and forth. Did I ever text you anything? Did I tell you what we were going to be talking about?
No, that's cool.
I never gave you no inclination whatsoever?
No.
Damn. I meant to. I was intending to. But it's funny. It came to me almost like in a dream. But before we jump into that, man, let me ask you how your weekend was.
My weekend was pretty hectic, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's pretty revealing of a lot of things, right? There's a lot of things to talk about. It's a lot of things to be said. It's a lot of things to be heard, listened to. So what I say when I say that is I was doing some thinking, and someone said to me, "Yo, be better. Do better." And that carries a lot of weight. I don't know what other people are going through or how other people just sit there and respond to that, but I do dwell on things. I hold grudges for a long time too, I'm one of those kind of people where you say something and I just sit with it and really try to hear the message, unless it's just something like, yo, fuck out of here. If it's something like that, then it's like, all right, cool. Mm-hmm. But outside of that, I really think deeply about what people say and the intent. I just go down a whole rabbit hole. So, do better, be better, and all that kind of stuff, right? And
Word. Well, can you share what this was in reference to?
That's exactly, I got you. So, I'm sitting there I'm thinking about it just yo, do better and be better. All right, cool. Got it. I realize that. That's something that I want to do. That's a goal. Always doing better, always being better. Whether it's with this, whether it's in even my personal private life. Whether it's at the gig, Out in public, I'm always trying to do better, be better. I'm just one of those kind of people. Okay. That's always striving to just do better, or how can I improve on something? So my mind is always racing, so it's a bunch of things all at once, and it could feel overwhelming to someone like me, who would just take it all, bear it all on my broad shoulders, just go for it, right?
Right.
So when that was said to me, it was just okay, in reference to this specific thing was more so just, it was handling business, going about the podcast,
Mm-hmm.
Just like that. Just all right, well, I'm trying to do better. I'm trying to be better. All right, cool. These are the steps that I'm making, but this part I'm going to be vulnerable with. I'm looking for some guidance. What do you think? Bam. Do better, be better. And I'm just all right, cool, yeah, I feel you, I hear that.
But you didn't constructive.
You didn't really answer exactly the point that I was trying to say or get to or anything like that. I hear you,
Yeah.
Cool. So I sit with the do better, be better, the better part. And I'm just all right, if I think about that in just life in general for me, it's just it's a lot easier to say that to actually live that. Because it comes down to, I've been surrounded by this kind of these influences, this life for so many years and see nothing but complacency.
Okay.
If you're always around people who are always as motivated, circumstances and all that, just as motivated, as inspired, you don't even know what complacency looks like. Because it's everybody that I know, bam, they're on it. They think about how they can do this.
Oh, yeah, you came to pod today.
Oh, yeah, I'm always trying to pod, but I'm always on a mic, and then, when I give it up,
Don't put it on me.
It just goes there.
Always pointing fingers, man.
You know, it just goes there, you know. I tried to do the OnlyFans thing, too. That didn't really take off. You know, the naked song, that really ain't take off.
I gave you a compliment. I wasn't trying to touch those trees. I just gave you a compliment.
Never mind.
I'm trying cheers and everything, man. Fuck it.
My fault. Yeah, oh, sorry. Cheers. Cheers to you guys.
Welcome to the pod, guys. Another sensational episode brought to you by yours truly.
All right, but still, the better part is just like, oh, like, okay, what does that look like? Bam, you can have the vision. Mm-hmm. You can have the vision of what better looks like. The steps to get to that vision, to accomplish that, is not so easy. That first step is not so easy because now we're talking about a habit. Mm-hmm. We're trying to break that habit or whatever, you know, like, I always think, it's like, oh, cut any bad habit out, cold turkey, cold sweat, you know? Bam, that's gone. Don't need that anymore.
You're nice.
But that's not true.
You must be nice.
But that's not true. It's not that easy. Because it's like, it becomes bittersweet.
Okay.
And what I mean with that is just like, oh man, love for the game. You know what I'm saying?
What's the point of being alive if you can't do the things you want to do?
I mean, well, now we're talking now, because this can get real dark. And the way that my mind is set up, it's springtime, it's right around the corner. You quote me on winter.
Keep on.
Wait, you quote me in the winter. You quote me in the winter zone. It got real dark. Okay. But no, things get a little better. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
Things get a little better. But yeah. So to sit there and break that habit is not easy. You know, that first step, because you're not actually sure what that first step is or what that first step looks like.
Okay.
So to take that, it's just like I don't even know if I'm doing I don't even know if this is the right path to take to get to that vision.
Right.
Or if this is just one of the many paths I have to take that might be the wrong one to get to that end result that I have in mind.
That's precisely why mentors are so valuable.
Ooh.
Because you get to see an example of what things look like secondhand, so that when you go through them firsthand, you already know a couple of things you wouldn't have had to learn from your own personal mistakes. Mm-hmm. I'll let you continue, though.
No, that was it. Okay. You asked me what was on my mind. That was my weekend.
I said, how was your weekend?
That was my weekend.
You gave me this fucking existential crisis bullshit.
Because that was my weekend.
All right, word.
That was my weekend.
I had a spell of alcohol poisoning.
Ooh, what was that like? How did you know?
Oh, how did I know?
How did you know?
Because I was dead. My body couldn't do anything. I kept throwing up everything. I threw up everything.
So how do you know that was poisoning? Did you get it checked out?
No, I didn't get it checked out. Here's what I used to say. Girls, people I talk to would go, oh, had alcohol poisoning. And I'd be like, how do you know it was poisoning? And they'd be like, oh, because your body is toxic and it won't, like, you're rejecting everything. Your body is, like, working to get the alcohol out. And I'm like, oh, you talking about throwing up? And I'm like, and they're like, no, but not just, like, regular throwing up, like throwing up. And I'm like, okay, I'm pretty sure I've projectile vomited millions of times. And there's only been one other occasion that was like this one, where I had just as much sweating and vomiting and just all around just weakness and incapacitation. Like I was just fucked. Like I was fucked. Mm-hmm. So what it was now the reason that I actually do believe that it would make sense logically to me, no, I'm not no WebMD, so don't take my word for it, kids. But the reason that I do logically believe that it was alcohol poisoning is because I threw up 7 times. And the first 4 times I threw up, it was nothing coming out. So I drank mad water, and then I threw up the water, and then I drank Pepsi, and I threw up the Pepsi. And then somebody told me ginger ale and bitters. I threw up the ginger ale and bitters. And then they gave me a liquid IV, and I threw up the liquid IV. And I was like, you know what? This is bad. So I didn't put anything else in there. And then when I didn't put anything else in there, I took a long ride home, and I got home. It was about 30 minutes between, and that was about the longest little break between my throw-ups. It was like my 6th and my 7th one. So I didn't put anything in my stomach, and I got home, and as soon as I got home, ran down, and then shit started coming out again. And that was actual alcohol. And it was down deep, and it was pulling that shit out from wherever it was. So
you felt that. You felt
it was
come out.
coming. Yeah, it was coming from way. It was sucking it out my kidneys or something. But it was fucking bad. It was terrible. And then I sat there for a while, and I contemplated just like setting up shop right there and just not moving at all. Mm-hmm. And I threw up everywhere, man. I threw up in the bathroom of like the place that I drink before work. I threw up in the bathroom of the place. I threw up in the bathroom at work. I threw up at my home bathroom. I threw up in every bathroom.
That sounds so fucking horrible, dude.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. I had a great weekend.
With that included, it's monsters.
Even with that, I still had a great weekend.
That's monsters.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, shit happens. I mean, the only reason I brought that up, I wasn't even planning on telling that story, especially here. I was going to tell you about it before, when we were talking earlier about, like, how shit went. But the only reason I brought it up here was because you was talking about quitting cold turkey shit. So I was basically going to say, what does that look like? I told myself I wasn't going to drink that very next day. But I was basically at the spot where I drink at to go get a drink the very next day. And I was like, all right, I'm not going to drink, though. I'm going to just get Pepsi. And I threw up the Pepsi.
Like,
I was like, oh, that didn't work. And then
there's some bitters in that bitch.
And then the next day after that, I was like, I went back to work. And everybody's like, how you feel? I'm like, I'm all right. Like, yeah. And then I didn't even hit him with the, I won't do that again. Hell no.
No.
Back again that night.
Like, going to do it.
My beer.
Going to do it.
I had a shot. And then the very next day, here I am here. So, do I know what it looks like? Not quite yet. No. Do I want to know what it looks like? Not quite yet.
What, sobriety?
Yeah, complete sobriety. I don't want to know what that looks like.
Yo, what was I watching? I was, alright, so the security guard at my spot was telling me about this show that I should check out, Lock and Key, on Netflix. I was just like, you know what? All right, cool. He's a pretty cool guy. And I know we're into the same things. So I was like, all right, definitely going to check it out. Checked it out. I'm like, whoa. It's a really good show. Really good show. This is one episode. Of course, where he gets into, well, she starts drinking again. They're like, Mom's back on it, you know? And then her trying to go like AA and everything, you know? It's just like, I've been sober for like 6 years now, you know? And of course, she broke it, you know, because all the shit that was happening around her. And I was just like, yo, 6 years. And then it's just like, shit, now I got to start over again. Like, like,
see, that's all right, so I don't want to get into the psychology of it because we already did our episode on addictions. And we both came to the conclusion that we weren't really qualified to do an episode on addiction. So I don't want to get into the psychology of it, but she ran back to it as like a solace or something. Like something was going wrong in her life and she considered. Now that's what they'll always tell you is the worst thing to do is to use it as a fucking fix for something. Now typically if you're just out celebrating and you're being merry and cheerful with your jovial friends, then that's fucking partying. And that's a festival and that's a feast and that's always the best context for drinking in my opinion. But if you're fucking, and that's why I don't have a problem with what I went through this weekend, because honestly the reason that I was as fucked up as I was this weekend wasn't because I was like drowning my sorrows or I was like upset with any of my actions or I was being hard on myself.
Oh, yeah.
Or I was mistreating myself.
Yeah.
No, motherfucker, I was hanging. And I was taking shots with everybody who told me to take a shot.
Yeah, what's up? That's the vibe.
Hey, and the problem was I initiated it. So I had already got it started with 4 shots. So by the time I got it started with 4 shots, everybody else felt like they needed to owe me a shot by then. So I'm like, damn, bro, you don't understand. I just bought you a shot, him a shot, and him a shot. And took it one with each of you. And now all y'all buying me a shot to take one with me. Now that makes me 6 and that makes you 2 in each. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I got beat up like that, but that's cool. I don't have any problem with that. Now, the issue with the lady, or at least the show that I didn't see in this person that I'm speaking about that I don't know that's not real, I think that the worst thing you can do is just be like, damn, down on yourself, I need to go fucking drink. Or I remember how I felt to drink, I want to feel that again or whatever. Like, I don't know, man. I never really looked at it like that. Like, I never really, sometimes I've been like, damn, I got a couple hours to burn. Let me drink a couple beers, because it'll be easier to go to sleep when it comes time. I've done that, but I don't know. I never, anyway. I don't know. I don't necessarily want to go too deep on this, so I'm going to go ahead and deflect this.
Yeah, because that wasn't the topic. You just asked me
No.
What's up, fam?
But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and deflect this. First off, I gotta say, we didn't touch each other today, man. That matters to me. It's good to see you. Always good to be with you. Always a pleasure. So I wanted to talk about something that all of us can relate to as workers in general, as people who have jobs. All of us, whether it's hospitality or not. And this is something that has been wearing on my life heavy as fuck lately. And hopefully it's something that you've been giving some thought to so we can have a constructive conversation about it. I have a couple of follow-up questions, but the first thing I wanted to ask you is what comes to mind when I bring up the word commute?
Travel.
Okay. Just one word? That's all you got for me?
Yeah.
Okay.
You said what comes to mind is travel.
All right.
I mean, if you want me to dive deeper into
Could you expound?
that, I can. I would do that. I could elaborate on that. All right, so when it comes down to commute, sit there and think about like, the hours that you do have me here, that's not the same as the preparation to get there. So like, this is like, all right, so if I'm working 8 hours, if I live an hour away, that's a 12-hour day.
Oh yeah, I've been telling niggas that for 12 years I've been telling people that.
It's an hour to get back,
I'm like,
an hour to come in.
The moment I wake up and disturb my sleep to come here, that is the time that you have taken from me.
Yeah. So, so all of that, whatever happens on your commute, whether if you're on public transportation, whether you drive, you could get stuck in traffic, it's all these different things. So now your mental jar is already starting to take its toll. It's already building up. So I'm not coming in with a fresh jar. It's not squeaky clean, It's not air dried,
I hear you.
It's not.
You drive, right? You drive the road?
It's not. I do all. Okay. Helicopter, any of that. Whatever's convenient in that moment, I'm doing it.
But still, you're telling me it's still an inconvenience ultimately.
It's still because now I still got to get to that helicopter. Mm-hmm. To get to the helipad, to sit there and figure out the closest helipad to wherever the destination is.
Right.
And then that's still part of the commute. That's still another commute. Is that me? That's probably me. No, it ain't me.
What's wrong?
There we go. All right, cool. It was clicking. But it's still, that's still part of the commute. That's still mental capacity. That's still not a squeaky clean glass
we
that I'm coming into.
Stuff like that out too.
Yeah, that's all that. We got to cut this out. But still, yeah. We'll cut that out. Edit point, but we're live. All right, so, what was I saying? What the fuck? Oh yeah, that's still, my mental jar is already taking its toll, Mm-hmm. It's not, I'm not coming in just like, hey, like, fresh.
Right, as one would want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm not game ready. Now I gotta decompress.
Yeah.
While I'm there in order to start said shift or even to end said shift. Because then it's like, all right, about to get out of here, start winding down. All right, before I get out, all right.
You gotta fucking prepare for it mentally.
Yeah, even leaving, because it's like, oh man, I'm kind of wired. I'm kind of up right now. I'm kind of awake, so now it's. I guess I can go get a beer in the shop.
What kind of factors exactly are involved in your commute that make it so non-ideal?
We're talking about me personally. It's people.
I'm talking about you.
It's people. I mean, it's people. So what people don't believe about me is I do have a lot of anxiety. I have social anxiety. Like, I get overwhelmed when it comes to people because there's a lot that goes within that. Like that transference of energy, I do believe in. It's just like, oh man, that's taking a lot out of me. Whether it's directly or indirectly, it's still affecting me. How you move is affecting me. It's affecting how I'm moving. Because I don't know, if I'm on public transportation, it's just like, I don't know what type of time you're on, but I know. I'm like, if I'm on a bus and the bus driver is doing an exchange, like getting out to hop on another bus, or that's the end of that bus driver's trip or shift, and another one's coming on, and it was like, yo, the other one out here, I'm walking off, I'm sitting here looking like, yo, I remember this one time somebody actually ran on this joint and just like drove off. Like that's a possibility, you know. Like maybe I'm overthinking, which I probably am, but it's a possibility. And it's like, all right, what are we gonna do in that scenario? What if somebody run up here with the chopper? You know, am I by myself? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not trying to save everybody, but I'm not trying to be on the wrong end. You know, like, are we all in this together? Like, my imagination just goes.
So let's accept the route. That's what you be.
So that's public transportation route.
Well, I mean,
in the
Uber is technically considered public transportation as well. So
public transit. Because man, prayers goes out to the Uber driver that got murdered by the passenger, just because I guess it felt like it, you know. She's gone, you know. So yeah, public. It's just like, dang, I just came, like, you know.
You know any more details of that, or you just?
No, because I told you it could go dark, and I'm not trying to go dark.
A woman got killed by a man Uber driver?
No. She was the Uber driver.
The woman got killed by a man passenger. Yeah, and she's pleading like, yo, I got 4 kids. He's like, I got kids too.
Wow. You know, they caught him. You know, they got him because, you know, that dash cam it was pivotal, you know. It didn't save her life, but it got him off the streets. But yeah, so things like that. Like now, like, so when you're hopping in Uber, because you hear about people getting raped, you hear all of these stories about all of these things that happen within that. So that's public, right? So when you're doing it yourself, when it's not public transportation and you're driving, then it's like, oh man, do I got gas? Do I got to stop for gas? Do I got time for that? Or what's this looking like? Oh man, gas prices could be crazy. Or is it traffic? Do I got a rage a driver behind me, in front of me? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's so many things. Like, oh, do they even know how to drive? You know, like, what's going on? It's so many different. That's still mental capacity. That's still already filling the jar already. Mm-hmm. So when you come into work, you know, it's not a clean slate, no matter what, because life is gonna life.
There you go.
And how you take that, you know, that's, you know, like some people can sit there and like everything bounces off of them, carefree. Like, yeah, you know, like life is gonna life, you know, like it's whatever. Have a positive outlook, have a positive whatever, you know, come in with that good energy. Like, all right, I'm here, I'm ready, let's do it. Other people can do it a lot differently, and I'm one of those other people because it affects me. I told you, the energy. It's just like, oh man, like you coming in here now. I have to deal with all the energies coming in. What type of time they on? You know, it's like, man, I want to give you a good time, but it don't seem like you want to have a good time. It seems like you just want to like dominate. You know, or it's like, oh, it's not. You know, it's all different things. You know.
I see.
So that's all the commute right there.
Okay.
That goes into the actual work.
Well,
how it influences it.
Is there ever any circumstance or situation where you consider your commute to be constructive at all?
I mean, I figure all of my commute.
Can I say
constructive?
Can I say something real quick?
You said a lot. You ain't saying nothing, actually.
What you talking about? Yeah, what to say. You mind if I say it? I was just going to say, there are certain times in my life where I look forward to my commute. And I would think of that as time to unwind before and between locations to kind of prepare myself for what I was getting away from and getting into. Like, for instance, as you know, I always had, like, long walks between my house and, like, wherever the fuck I'm going. Or wherever, like, whatever bus or train I'm catching. There's always, like, a nice little walk. I always considered that, like, a nice little decompression walk. But, like, yeah. So, I'm sorry. I wanted to ask you, is there ever a time when you consider your commute to be completely constructive? Or was there ever a time when you considered your commute to be completely constructive?
I consider all my commutes constructive.
Why are you so mad, man? You alright?
Yeah, what are you thinking about?
Your body language is
No, I gotta get a massage.
tight.
Yeah, I gotta get a massage.
Mad tight.
Yeah, I gotta get a massage. So, I mean, like, I hung out with Ted a couple of days ago.
Yeah.
After I missed the last bus.
Massage when you was said?
For the commute. For the commute, I missed the last bus. Okay. So I ended up crashing his Scout. And and that's just not a thing I can do, you know, or my body's used to in a life.
And you paying for it.
Yeah, so it's like, I really gotta, get that rubbed out.
Pause. All right.
I don't know, man. Like, yo, man,
You want to answer the commute question, or do you want to fucking talk about what I'm doing right now?
I'm not talking about that. I thought I answered your commute question.
You said you consider them all to be constructive.
And you said, why are you so angry?
Okay, in what ways do you consider them all to be constructive?
Well, because it's how I utilize my time within those moments. I'm always thinking about ways to improve on whatever it is needs to be in, whether it's private life, whether it's business, whatever, Like, it's always constructive.
Word.
So that's why I'm sitting there like, I'm finding topics, brainstorming, just things about like how things should go, or the way of the world, or I could just be listening to music, like, oh man, this is pretty cool, who could I put on this?
It's the Waka. Did you always feel the same way about your commutes, or did you ever have a time when it was like, damn, I really can't wait till my walk home, or I can't wait until my bus ride home?
Well, I used to walk casually. I used to walk everywhere. Like,
what do you prefer?
Is my thing.
What do you prefer? Walking always?
It depends.
Now? Like
it depends.
The car?
It depends. It depends.
Gym.
Like, if it's cold out, it's cold as shit, I'm not trying to walk.
Yeah. I mean, clearly, if you got fucking 16 miles to go, that's also the case.
Yeah, if it's raining, I mean, it's like it's circumstantial. If it's a nice day, I don't mind at all, Yeah. It's nice out, don't mind at all. I've been walking with the kid, every nice day. Go out for a walk. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not a commute, though. That's a walk.
Yeah, it's a walk.
Yeah. So, with me, I've been catching Ubers for a while now, exclusively. You know why that is? I'm using fucking the Jigger because I usually Freeport these bitches. You know why that is?
I thought you were gonna.
I thought you were gonna say yes or no.
Oh, I'm listening.
It was a fucking question.
I thought you were gonna respond.
Want answers.
I thought you were gonna respond regardless.
Questions want answers.
Why is that?
There you
I'm
go.
Sorry.
There you go. It's the fucking
Edit point. Why is
the
that?
energy I'm looking for. That is because I live past one of the most fucking hard drug neighborhoods in the world, in Kensington. And everywhere I go, I gotta go past that shit. And I have to see the methadone clinics, and I gotta see the people just standing there like zombies falling over and shit. Motherfuckers with scabs and shit all down their arms. And everybody walking up to you with like socks and no shoes on, or bags and no socks and no shoes on. And just inadequate conditions to be like calling that shit human life. And then I gotta go to work after that and like smile at people and accept their money and say thank you when they give me 25 cents on a fucking $6.75 beer, right?
We had a conversation about this.
Yeah, because I know you and you know me. That's why I asked you. Do you know why? So I've been catching these motherfucking Ubers for about, what would you say, if you had to guess?
I'm not guessing, but I'm still, all right, go ahead. I'm not guessing.
Well, if you had to guess, and if I had to guess, I'd say about maybe 2-3 years now. Exclusively. Have not caught SEPTA. Only either caught Uber or rode my bike. And that shit is expensive. I just figured out the other day that I'm spending as much on that as I'm spending on my rent. So I figured out that I could basically just move, one, to the city, or move to the city and live in my house as long as I get rid of Uber. Move to the city and still keep my same house as long as I get rid of Uber. You know what I'm saying? Now, when I used to be a young boy, I used to drink these motherfuckers all the time. I used to be like, can I get orange juice in mine? And I don't know how they did that with the proportions. I don't know if they replaced the lemonade with orange juice or whether they just threw orange juice on top or whatever. But that shit gave me heartburn.
So no OJ.
Yeah, no OJ, and I didn't bring no lemons or no fucking swizzle sticks, baby. Cheers.
That's fine. Cheers. All right. So right now we're drinking a Long Island iced tea.
That tastes like a Long Island.
Yo, you know when's the first time you had a Long Island iced tea, man?
I believe I was 18, and I believe I was at Chad's crib, and I believe his sister had brought the mix, and she was saying how the real way is like this or whatever. So I believe I went to Rick's crib, and I believe Rick had all the spirits. So I believe that I had it at Rick's house.
I'm like, shout out to the homie. He just hit me up too. That guy. Yeah, man, I remember the first time I had the Long Island iced tea, and I tell you, it was a long night for me. This is back when I was...
How many did you have?
This is when I was... This is back in... This is when I was back DJing, or I wasn't even DJing. I was DJing, but I wasn't like headlining or anything like that. This is when I was interning for Touch. Mm-hmm. So of course we at the clubs, you know, hitting up this club, you know, opening set there, mid, headline, close out there, you know what I'm saying? At these and all that. So how many I had?
Doesn't even matter anymore, because it's like 5 or 6 hours of everything going on. Yeah.
Yeah, so, but I remember how it finished.
It could have been about 13.
I remember how it finished. And, like, I didn't know anything. Like at first I started off, wait. First, his manager at the time was just like, let's get him a cranberry vodka. Started there. And, cause, you know, like, I was like, I don't drink. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was still on that. I'm like, you know, like, that was before anything. You know, that was they were like, you know, you gonna be about this, you gonna be in this lifestyle, this life? Boom.
You get sauced.
Get him that, you know? Damn, like, all right, cool. And he's like, all right, so this is pretty much Aaron Boy. This is what you bring these back. You bring this back to...
Everything just needs more ice.
You bring this back to the DJ booth, you know?
You carrying drinks?
Carrying drinks, you know, like...
Service.
Get yourself one. No, because they already had, like, I don't know if you guys know. You guys probably don't know. There's always a DJ tab that pretty much gets comp. So it's like, you just go, you order, you know? Bam. Bring these back. Cool. So it started off with a Cape Cod, vodka cranberry.
Right.
And then my life changed, standing at the bar. This girl see me from a mile away. What you drinking? Oh, vodka cranberry. You know what? What's up? What's up?
What she say?
She was like, oh, that's cute. You know what I'm saying? And you know the clubs back then. I mean...
That scares me. I think you should get that away from your computer.
What?
The fucking drink.
Oh, fine. So you know the clubs back then. Like, and I was young, dumb, immature. Mm-hmm. I'm old, dumb, and immature. Mm-hmm. You know, that's the only difference. Mm-hmm. But, you know, I was like, oh, okay, well, what you got?
Still don't listen to shit.
You ain't ready. You ain't ready for what I got in mind. And I'm like, what you got? You're like, you don't know about these Long Islands. Bring it on. I'll have a Long Island, and the rest of them can be Korean August. So I took it. So I go back to the DJ booth. She seen me in the DJ booth, and that's how they get in. You know what I'm saying? Like,
so your little crab ass was like, all right.
That's the homie.
Yep.
All right, use him. Get on. You know what I'm saying?
He want any type of attention. I'm gonna go
bet
his ass.
Bet. Took all those drinks back. It was just like they was like, yo, what you get? I got a Long Island iced tea. Yo, you don't know what you just got yourself into. You know what I'm saying?
They put it to you like that.
Yeah, it's
like 211, huh?
They're like, good night. night, you know what I'm saying? But they still got to be professional because, you know, the gig is the gig. They're working.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm working,
Yeah,
but my responsibility ain't the same as theirs. So, you know what I'm saying?
You can almost get carried out.
Like,
Yeah, you could. Yeah.
got carried out. I didn't get carried out. I mean, I stumbled. I carried myself out. But, oh, man, they made sure they hit every pothole, I tell you that. They made sure they hit every pothole. But no. I say that for the sheer fact that, man, Long Island Iced Teas, that's my whole history with it. And it was like, all right, cool. And then I learned what they put in it. And I was just like, all right, what's the price point for that? That's why that's that. It's only extremes. Long Island Iced Teas they only work in extremes. What I mean when I say that is like either you're getting a premium,
High,
or you're getting you're getting full of bankers.
Yes, sir.
Long Island full of bankers.
You guys could tell. I told him I avoided all the bankers. I avoided
all that. But the price point is still the same.
Price point was still the same.
The price point would still be the same.
If you guys want to know how much all those bottles cost, if you're drinking with us, you know how much all those bottles cost. But I bought the cheap shit. I had Tito's and Mr. Boston's and stuff in the promo thing. But with this, yeah, what can I say, man? All those bottles cost $45, man. Five bottles for $45. So that's an average of $9 a bottle, including tax.
So, I mean, and these are liter bottles.
These are liters.
All right, so I'm not going to even break down the math on any of that. But I say all that to say, like,
we can make a lot more Long Islands with these Jones, though, if we want.
This could range. So we're talking about like spending what? All right, putting like $5 on the tab, as opposed to $35 on the tab. You know what I'm saying? I would rather go to $35 route tab, but you know what? It's cool.
Mm-hmm. Well, the thing is, I had to buy every bottle, so it would have been $35 each bottle. You know what I'm saying?
I can divide. Yeah. We'll say two. Two of them things to do.
Yeah.
So the decision was,
Yeah, it was not a top shelf Long Island. That's not what I said in the video. I said Long Island. I didn't say top shelf Long Island. Also, if you want to notice one thing, I thought it was significant. I find it funny how many people don't know that there's no tea in this motherfucker. A lot of people was like, damn, where the tea at?
You're the tea. Sit there, sip on it.
So yeah, how's your Long Island taste, man? You like it?
I mean, it's Long Island-y, so you know, like, I know what I'm getting myself into. You know, like. So when you ask me, like, yo, what glasses are you using? I was just like,
You asked me what glasses.
Oh, I did?
Yeah, you said, what glass did you want? You said, what glass did you want to use? And I said, Collins. Why? What glass was you planning on using? And he was like, oh, I got everything. And then I was like, well, fuck it, let's use pints. And you were like, I don't want to use no pints. I was like, all right. He was like, you use a pint. I'll use a fucking Collins. And then I was like, all right. He was like, matter of fact, I'm using the rocks glass. I was like, fuck it, we'll use rocks glasses.
Rocks glasses, well,
and then here you came with the...
I mean, no, because within all of that, you know, I was
measurement still would have been the same. Got
you. Yeah, my whole thought process was just like, you know what? Nah, this is his drink, his way. Bet. Let me get on board. I'm B Mike.
That's word.
I'm B Mike. You know what I'm saying? I'm taking a seat back.
See, we always start off all pissed off, and then we get a little drunk, and then we start smiling and shit.
Oh, you were pissed off at me earlier?
I wasn't pissed off.
I thought it was all love, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I was interviewing you about your commute. And back to the motherfucking matter at hand. Screen lantern.
The lantern.
Is there an ideal commute situation that you have in mind?
Yo,
seriously, you got a kid, man.
I read this book.
All right, here you go.
I read this.
Who wrote it? Kanye?
No. Did you watch the doc? All right, I'm not even getting on that yet. But no,
I'll bring him at all costs.
So I read this book by Danny Meyer. Okay. Setting the Table, right?
Sure.
And it changed my perspective on things because at first it's just like, yo, you want to be like the commute is, you know, like the way I viewed it prior to reading was just like, I want to be as far. I don't want to be so close to work. Mm-hmm. I don't want to be like it's a boundary. Like, this is my private life. Over there is like where I go to work. Next town over. You know what I'm saying? Like, the next town over, I'd rather work in the next town over. So it's just like, I can find some peace that I'm away.
So you want to compartmentalize your life to an extent.
But then, with his perspective was just like, yo, I'm right around, like, yo, all my places are right around the corner from where I live, so I can just get there. And then I'm like, that makes it easier. It makes it
yeah, I read this book, too.
You read?
A little bit.
You read?
Yeah, you probably read this book as well, though. This is
I don't be reading that much.
Seth Godin. And this book, he was basically saying how having an integrated lifestyle is most ideal, and it takes away a whole lot of that mental strain that comes with the commute. He was saying, if best, you should have your office in the crib. Fuck out the bed, go straight to the office, right? And then go eat and work out and all that other shit. But like, ultimately, everything in your life should be compartmentalized, but like you said, mini compartmentalized to where there's no obstacles between each compartment, right? Because then you're cutting out the fucking flab. That shit's flab. All that extra energy wasted on fucking, unfortunately, sorry guys, dealing with like
people,
interactions that you don't necessarily plan for.
Like, fuck all
draining interactions that you don't necessarily plan
any
for.
of them. And they just insert themselves in it.
Right. And, traffic, just that whole drag, waiting for, people to show up and waiting for things to show up, buses and such, and cars and Ubers, having to interact with people you don't want to interact with in a car.
So why are you talking to me?
Yeah.
You don't have to talk to me.
Even like the feeling when you get in the car and then you're like, damn, I should have took a shit. Or when you call the car and you're like, fuck, I gotta take shit now. Yeah. Can I knock this out in 4 minutes? And that all of that shit is like way too much to have to like be a fucking genius and excel and run the world and be able to do it at the same time.
But what about the funny commutes though, man? Have you ever, like...
Yeah, I mean, I used to have commute partners. I used to have people I commuted with that made my commute complete joy.
You just be... Like, I'm just talking about...
No, it's been a very long time since...
Watching the people, I'd be cracking up. I'd be cracking. It actually carries me through the day. I'm like, that fucking person, they were wild. They were tripping. Like, that shit was funny. It was funny. You see what they did? Have you ever looked over at another person and was like, yo, you see that shit too? You see that?
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Like, not your homie.
I know, just a random person. Y'all just on the same page. So, yo, this motherfucker's wild. But we all understand that.
Yo. Yeah. No, have you ever heard that? Have you ever had that person try to turn it into a friendship?
Oh, absolutely. You're like, nah, son. I got enough of those. Oh, this is my stop. No, not really. 2 blocks from here. I get off now.
so it's like 3 in the morning, right? It's like 3 in the morning on my way back, It's on my way leaving from work. So the bus driver goes past this lady and her 5 and 7 children. Right?
5 or 7. Yo, there's a lot of them. Count. Dude, moving around. It is the same story. Keep up.
So we stopped. She was like, I ain't paying you. You just went past us. So on that who's it right
already.
There? On that who's it? Already. I was like, oh, man.
And you can't tell them get the fuck off because it's 19 of them.
So like, no, we ain't paying them. She was like, no, it was people. I was like, you should have kept going. You should have kept going. So I don't know about you. I can tell you how I think in these moments. It's just like, yo, man, I don't want anybody with kids to sit near me.
No, never. They be stinking and shit and touching you.
They don't understand anything. It's like,
and they stare at you. Oh, and they be like,
that'd be weird. It's like, you just gotta look out the window, just like, and then you keep going. You're like, yo, they still fucking staring. Like, these moments. It's like, come on, man, it's awkward. It's weird.
You pull your phone out, they be all on your phone and shit.
Yo, these kids don't have no boundaries.
No, they don't. Nobody taught them. And then their mom looking at them, look at you like, That's what he do.
And then mom sitting there telling the bus driver, no, you just drove past us. You ain't getting none of this money. Like, I doubt she even had it, honestly. They were gaming all the way.
She probably stood a couple steps back just so he drive past her, just so she can run up and fuck.
Goodness. So they all come running on the bus. And I'm just like, it's all these seats in the front.
She probably scammed all those baby fathers of hers, too.
All these seats in the front.
That was wrong.
And you know what they did?
Sorry.
You know what they did?
What?
Came all the way to the back. And I'm just like...
Sat all on your lap. Gathered all around your neck.
And these not the kids that you want to say anything to, man.
No, hell no. They tough as shit. It's scary.
That's scary, man. These little kids, these little kids are scary. So that was a long bus ride, right? And I was like, yo, I think I can guess where they're getting off. But even hearing the communication between their mom and them, I was like, whoa.
She ain't got control of it.
She ain't got no control over this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
that's how it be.
It was
be like, yo, I got nobody to appeal to.
Yeah.
And there's so many of y'all, I got to put you all down.
It was wild.
Shit
Yeah, I know. It's like that.
You really got to think about it. It's like,
all y'all. I'm already surrounded. Y'all need y'all
for real. You be like, damn, what kind of weapon I got on? It's like, I got keys. I stabbed yours.
Second of all kind of scenarios, all kind of crazy. I mean, that's mental capacity. It's like, yo, man, I just wanted to get a brew and I got in the crib.
Yeah.
Like, now I got to get it because I got to try to block this whole thing. Got to suppress this whole thing just so I can sleep. And you know what? I guessed exactly where they were getting off, man.
Yeah.
Don't
tell us.
Man, I was like,
you knew where they was getting off the projects.
How you know?
Because I guess just like you. Come on, man.
So when they got off, when they got off, old homie, old boy, he was on the other side of the bus with me. Oh, look at it. Because I knew where he was going. He wasn't getting off where they were getting off. But he didn't expect them to get on it. So when he got off, he was throwing at me. I looked at him. He was like, I could breathe again.
This boy breathed a sigh of relief.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, we both did. Because it was crazy. It was crazy.
Funny as shit.
It was crazy. And then, so he had on these sparkly black leather pants.
That's why he didn't want to get off. When he was going to get off.
So he was doing at me. How should I go?
Oh, you trying to make friends? Oh, wrapped all the way around. This is one of the boys trying to make friends.
He was like, that was crazy.
Start smiling and shit.
Yeah, that was crazy, right? I was like, yeah, man, it's crazy. It Reels. Instagram. Reels. All the indicators, no. Yeah, so
thank you guys, thank you creators for getting my man out of the situation. For dropping so much free content.
Yeah,
for people like him.
Yeah. We both got off at the last.
He was waiting for you.
We both got off the last stop. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to cross the street.
Of course. Cross the street too.
And we were both walking.
Did you turn up the block that you ain't even live on?
Yeah, that's because I had to pee though.
Hey, don't be talking about that.
It was because I had to pee, It was on the grass though. I felt like, the grass could have been
still a decent exposure, man.
Oh, man, really? Mm-hmm. Oh, man, I've seen everybody do.
That's a decent exposure. They're exposing yourself. That's why you see them.
No, you ain't see me.
I ain't see you.
It was 3 a.m.
What the fuck does that mean?
Come on, man.
All right, one time I had my young boy. I was taking him to the game, walking right out.
And he peed outside. They tried to get him.
No. Walking right out to the front of the Phillies game. 2 dudes standing there pissing. 1 dude pointing right at me. Dick right out. I'm like, I got my young boy. He looking. I'm looking at my young boy. My young boy, he don't think it's nothing unnatural or nothing. I'm just like, this is the way we going. The young boy's looking at, and I mean the old head's looking at me like, what? I'm like, nothing, man. Go ahead. You can put your dick away. Feel free. You got to stand there like ain't nothing wrong. No, because once he was done, he just stood there like, like I ain't noticing nothing. Like, no, you can put it away. You have my permission.
He was like, act natural.
No, he had a look on his face like, act up, say something.
Like, yo, this is what you don't want to be.
I ain't even say nothing.
You want to have...
I don't even address that shit.
Yo. See, no, I'm addressing that.
I ain't even address that shit.
I'm like, yo, don't, no. At least you could, like, if you want to do this, at least hide and do it. Don't just whip it out. It's frowned upon.
Yeah.
It's frowned upon. Like this.
I feel like I put him through enough of that in the house. Like, I feel like, cause he got sisters and shit, so I feel like he already has an understanding of like his body and the privacy aspect of that. I feel like in public that shit didn't need to be said. I feel like he thought they was dickheads, like I thought they was dickheads.
Got you. You looking like,
who are these assholes?
All right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, yo, these niggas at every baseball game or what?
Yeah,
you know what's
they're
funny?
at every baseball game.
You know what's funny? That was at the Sixers game. That wasn't even at the baseball game.
Yeah, every Sixers game.
That was at the Sixers
That was
game.
at the That's an arena.
I know. It was outside though. It was right before you go into.
I'm just like,
No.
because I mean, I get it. Those lines be crazy.
Pissing on the field and the fucking.
Those bathroom lines in the stadium are crazy.
Shout out my Sixers and shit. I'm sorry. James Harden into the squad.
Yeah, man, you gotta do that, man.
Welcome home. I gotta do that.
I mean, you gotta do that, man. Put the mic somewhere else, man.
I gotta do all of that.
Put the mic up there or something.
No, I'm done.
Like,
I'm done doing what I was doing.
I'm just like,
You can edit that out.
oh yeah, just
You
all
can
right.
do what you want.
Oh, I know what I'm gonna do. All right, cool. I know what I'm gonna do.
All right, cool.
Hashtag 76ers. I got you.
There you go.
Fandom.
That's 76th.
Talk to him. Yo, I was actually thinking about. What was it?
Yeah, we're gonna do that later. All right. So, I had two more questions about this commute situation, and then I was just gonna basically leave you on the floor and say whatever you wanted to say. I was gonna say, excuse me.
They get that clean out.
I know.
The audio was different now.
That was good.
I'm saying that.
That shit blew the dust off the mic right there.
It's so crazy because, like, anytime my young boy is burping, he beverages, I'm like, yay! He did it.
Power.
He did it.
There's power in that.
He did it.
Just go for him.
You did it. I know. And then we become adults, you're like, come on.
Get your shit together.
Yeah. So I'm like, keep that same energy. Yeah. Keep that same energy.
KTSC, nigga. KTSC. So, I basically just wanted to ask, like, since I kind of just established what my thought was, and you just kind of established what your thought was. I mean,
fuck this commute shit. Oh.
Go ahead.
No,
basically, like, we can, like, if we could fucking build the office out the crib and fucking wake up and jump in that bitch.
Yeah.
Now, have a gym in the crib, wake up and jump in that bitch.
Now, here's the thing.
My kids being educated in the crib, wake up and jump in them bitches.
Here's the thing. All right, because I'm, like, not talking to us, but talking to our audience, you know, who may not have that kind of platform.
Yeah, but you also... Go ahead.
In these kind of moments, like, what could you do? Well, we actually did have during the pandemic, we had an episode where we actually had the way creators create, you know?
This joint just getting better and better.
I know, right? I'm sitting there, I'm like, you know, I ain't even mad at this. You know what I'm saying? Now I understand even more. You know, I'm sitting there like, oh, that's yeah. I get the Halle Berry reference now. It's been a while. What? I was saying this, man. He be cooking, man.
Yeah, he do. He be saying that
shit. You know what I'm thinking? I don't want to be that. I don't want to be that part. Because you know how you have the whole Avengers? Like, I mean, like, so far, a lot of episodes we reference Yay.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, like, I'm just saying, like, you know, like,
you might start your allegiance.
Yeah, he might be our guy, man. He might be our guy, man. You might be our guy. But yeah. All right. So for the people, like, when it comes to like just being able to roll out your bed, I'm gonna go back to this episode. It was probably like 25 or whatever. I don't know what 25 episodes are. All right. One of our earlier episodes during the pandemic, it was like, how can bartenders or we have servers or whatever make a living still doing whatever, you know, like being a bartender or being a server or whatever, you know? Mm-hmm. And it was just like, all right, so having this content platform, that's when we start throwing around the Patreon idea. It's just like, with that content of, if you're a bartender, you can sit there, always create drinks, you know, however you do it. Like, Tipsy Bartender, he does it, you know? He just rolls out of his bed in his condo or whatever it is, his apartment, invite the chicks over,
Right.
and boom, you know?
Yeah.
And just creates that way, and he's making a lot, you know, marketing, promoting it, you know, branding and all that kind of stuff, you know? Boom.
Well, you know, it's funny because that was an aspect that we didn't quite cover on this episode, which was like, I think I tried to make it too broad, or I kept it. Matter of fact, I didn't try to make it anything. I just tried to make it an interview about you. But what it was it never got down to how a lot of people like really like come into the city just to get work that pays enough.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. I was one of those guys. Still am one of those guys, you know? It's just like, all right, if I'm going to position... If I'm going to
fucking live in the center of the city.
Yeah, if I'm going to position myself, I'm like, you know, where does everybody go? Everybody goes downtown. Now,
that's where I'm going to go get my money at.
You know, because I know they're coming there to spend money.
Right.
We both have, like, they're coming to spend, and I'm coming to collect.
Get that shit, yep.
You know?
I love it. That's perfect. You're right about that.
Like... You know, like, I mean, it's a lot different for me now in these in this path that I have went through for this journey. It's a lot different now because I'm not collecting from. I am collecting from people coming to, you know, the spend it. But the crazy part is, if they don't spend it, I still get it.
Yeah, but
I get it from the owners of the establishments. It's no longer from the people that's coming down there to spend. You get what I'm saying?
I know exactly what you're saying.
So
I doubt you even care.
It's a lot different. What?
I doubt you even fucking considered location when you was trying to get your job.
Oh, in this role?
Yeah.
I did.
Did you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I remember you was pretty fucking desperate.
Just like, y'all gotta get out of this.
Yeah. He was working at the liquor store.
No, and there wasn't a problem with that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's because they fucking played you and told you you could be a fucking wine specialist.
And that right there, just because that is the only reason why.
Yeah, we was recording while all that shit went down, so they can go back and watch it.
Yeah, it was just like, man, just going off. Yeah, so I got a problem with the government. Yeah, I got a problem, like, because that's, like, people always just like, yo,
that's local though. That's local. That's Pennsylvania.
Yes. No. So check this, right? All right. I got a piece of mail upstairs from the government saying something else, some bullshit. I didn't even open it yet, but I already know some bullshit. It was like, hey, wait, first of all, we already settled on everything. All accounts.
Oh, shit.
Like, why am I still getting mail? Yo, mail-in ballots, cool. Check out, I'm not covering it anyway. Send that here. If it ain't about a mail-in ballot, I don't even know why you guys are sitting there. We shouldn't even be talking anymore.
Yeah, we should open that on this episode.
What? I'm not opening that. No, you remember the last letter that I opened?
Yeah, that was a termination, wasn't it?
No, it was separation. Letter of separation.
City water.
Oh, man, that was wasteful. Come on, give that to us. You know what I'm fucking city water. So the funny part is, like, all right. So I've been looking on all the recruiting outlets for jobs. See what's out there?
They get out there every day.
Yeah,
You're looking for people all day, every day.
But you know what they are? You know what they now looking for?
A wine specialist.
I know, right? So it's just like that. They really.
Yeah, they eliminated that.
Yeah, they're like, yeah.
That role does not exist anymore.
No.
Ain't nobody got no money for that.
Yeah, so it's funny. So I'm like, yeah. Whenever we bring this back.
I didn't apply to them out of loyalty to you.
You're the first one.
Oh yeah, that's what they said.
Yeah, you know, but I do know that that's real.
Oh yeah, that's real.
That's real. It's like, yo, you're the first person we're gonna hit back. You know, it's just like, nah, I'm not doing that anymore.
Yeah, for real.
All right, I appreciate it, but I'm not doing that anymore. The commute was worth it. It was such an easy commute, though.
To wrap it back around, such a good commute. Yeah, that was a commute.
Yeah, because it's right there. It's right there in the fashion district.
Yeah.
Like the train literally.
Is that what they call that now, the fashion district?
Yeah, you know, it has all those high fashion outlets.
Does it now? The Nike outlet.
It has, the Nike outlet. I mean, but the Armani Exchange outlet. You know what I'm saying?
The outlets. Okay.
Yeah, it's an outlet mall, but it's the fashion district. You know, like Philadelphia is the hub for fashion.
Not Milan?
What? Crushing it. Oh, I thought you were talking about the brand from Philly. See?
I'm talking about Italy.
Yeah, I got it afterwards. But
That's where Milan is, right? Italy.
Yeah, it is.
All right, cool.
I mean, but she's based out of Philly, though. Is it Milano? What is it? Whatever. But yeah. Fashion is Philly.
Yeah.
You know, we even got a Philly Fashion Week.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Word. Shout out to the Sixers.
Yeah, why we out here just like,
Yeah.
But I'm not mad at the new rebrand.
Who?
That they're doing? Of the Sixers. Like, Summer 70.
This is yeah.
Summer 76. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, look. You know what? Like, we're talking about fashion. Yo, stop hitting your mic, man. I'm sorry, bro. Stop hitting your mic. Yo, I'm going to get, like, regular mics. Yo, we're just going to do the traditional thing.
I can't be trusted. I can't be trusted. You gotta get
you got Nike. Like, you can't shit on Nike. You got a fucking Nike. You gotta get on Nike now. Yeah, you do. I got this joint from the Nike outlet.
In the fashion district.
What else we got, man? What else we got?
I don't know. I think that was it for the commute talk. Yeah. We talked about my commute. You talked about your commute. We talked about ideal commutes. People come to the city to make money. We always fucking went to the city to make money. I mean, ultimately, there's something you can't get around, right? Is that what we just agreed on? That you can't get around fucking having to go far to go get the money? Because the money is where the money is?
See,
you're in management now.
I'm looking at it.
You found your way around it.
Yeah, in so many words. But at the same time, like by being in that role, I see things a whole lot differently now. For the sheer fact, just like, yo, man, like, I mean, because if you're in the right neighborhood popping spot, you know, like, yo, you're killing it. Like up there, Manioc, you know, they are making just as much or more.
Yeah, definitely.
It's its own little town kind of thing, you know. It's just like I don't need to go downtown, you know. Like everything is right here.
It's true.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it just depends. It just depends where you're at, you know. But even still, like looking like because the way that I view it as a customer coming in, a patron coming in, it's just like,
excuse me.
All right, the only reason I'm going down there is to say I went to the city. Everything we have up here is way better, but I can't get that. I can't get that. I'm in big time the city, you know, ambiance while I'm here.
I mean, yeah, but that's being too minimalistic about it, or simplistic. Sorry, that's being too simplistic about it. Because obviously, there's other draws. Like, there's reasons why you're down there. There's reasons why fucking people go to the city, other than just saying, "I'm in the city." We in the city.
What's that?
One,
tourist destination.
Maybe they work down there.
That could be true.
Okay, two.
So that's the same draw.
Two.
That's the same draw.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. Because that's where the money is.
No, that's not true. That doesn't mean if they're not in the industry, no, that's not true. Maybe they just have a job down there. Maybe their job just placed them down there. Maybe they do construction. Maybe the construction is being done down there. Who the fuck knows, dog? There's a lot of things.
That's where the money is.
Okay, that's
where all the accounts are. That's where all the accounts are.
Bro. If they work down there. Maybe they know someone down there. Maybe they grew up down there. Maybe they have a whole fucking school situation that they used to be at fucking Penn or Drexel or some shit like that.
That's not the city.
Yeah, but they all hang out in the city.
They all hang out in the city. They go to the city. But
the city is fucking 10 blocks away from them. Jesus Christ, man.
The city is 10 blocks away from fucking here.
Okay, kill me on technicalities. Cool.
It's still going down to the city. It's still just the city.
It's not just the city. There's a lot of reasons that people go there.
Yeah, they rob.
Not just the city.
They rob motherfuckers that go there. Like, this is like, oh, the money's down there. I'm going down there. You know what? I was talking to somebody yesterday, right? At the cigar cool, right? Sitting there talking to this guy, and he's just like, yo, the Maybach is gone. So they tried to sit there and give me a BMW, but that needed to be in the shop, right? So while that was in the shop, they was like, all right, here's this Range Rover. Now, I didn't know what was happening, the conversation that was happening. So what had happened was he got jacked in Penn's Landing, Old City, for his Maybach. They went through his stuff. His wife had her stuff in there. They went to his crib and then took her car. This all happened.
Are they alive? Are they good?
Yeah, they're alive. They're good.
All right. Good.
Open up in a whole weed.
Good. I'm glad that happened to them. I'm glad that happened to them.
All this happened in Penn's Landing.
Before I said, are they okay? I wanted to say, good. That's good. I'm glad that happened. But I want to make sure they're okay. But I'm glad that happened because motherfuckers be traveling wrong, man. Motherfuckers be moving the wrong way.
You can't go to Old City, yo. They market Old City. So that's where the fucking Liberty Bell is.
We talked about that place getting shot up on this show.
Liberty Bell?
No, that restaurant right around there. Where the boy got killed because the girl was broadcasting or whatever.
Wait, who?
Remember you said that some boy was out on a date or whatever and was eating outside?
Oh, yeah. Oh, man, yeah. Yeah, that was some hood shit right there.
That was some hood shit.
That
let you know hood boys is around.
The streets are on the street.
Yeah,
they gonna find you.
Life is going life.
That's real thing.
You better motherfucking.
They're real good. Don't be on the wrong track.
I don't care if you got $1 million. I don't care if you got $10 million. I don't care if you got $100 million. If you're driving a motherfucking car that is worth more than somebody can make in, I don't know, 10 years, you should probably consider them doing 20 years.
20 years, 30 years.
Yeah, 30 years.
Yeah,
some of these niggas ain't never gonna have jobs.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you should probably consider what they.
A lot of them don't get.
You should probably be consider
flipping the fries.
You should probably be considering the fact that they might be willing to do 30 years to get that car, or 20 years to get that car. That it might take them 30 years to get. You know what I mean? So, yeah, you motherfuckers gotta roll a little different. You can't be out here acting like you got. Every millionaire I know, you would never know they got millions. Mm-hmm. Every millionaire I know, you would never know they got millions. Mm-hmm. They don't act like it. They don't talk like it.
Mm-hmm. And that's a whole other conversation too. That's a whole other conversation.
Hey, but listen, don't fucking kidnap me asking me who got millions of dollars. I don't know nobody. Cut that all out. Fuck that.
So, somebody was like, yo, I love to hear you laugh. I think it's cute. I love your laugh. It was like, what? They were like, yo, wait. Never mind. I'll tell you later.
No, tell me. You can't start that shit right now, bro.
No, man, I could. I'll do it. Well, I mean, like, all right, here's the thing, right?
Yeah.
So she's from New York.
Okay.
And she was like, you got that, like, Jay-Z Mace laugh. So, you know, like, for me, fuck you, Cha-Cha. So for me, and the homie was there, right? It was just like, yo, you just said the wrong.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, oh, man, his hand is number hard. That's cut.
All right. So, any highlights?
I was like, that's cut. You got any highlights?
Highlights? So, like, I'm sorry. Pause.
I'm sorry. No, I knew that. Yeah, what? You talking about? Like, you already knew I was going to highlight. You already knew exactly what I was going to highlight. Yo, man. All right. So this comes heavy, you know? Like, all right.
Pause.
Yo, I'm laughing too much. Stop making me laugh, bro. That's a long hour. See, that's how you know. You get real good. I already even touched you. You're so funny. You're so silly. It's like you nasty. You nasty, man. You nasty, man. You knew I already had a beer sitting here. I didn't even touch that shit since you had this. Come on, man. That was lemonade. All right, yo, lemonade is sour mix. You know what I'm saying? All right. Hold on. I tell you, man, that should get you lit.
LIT.
You know? All right. But yeah, all right. Highlights. So, right now, this comes real heavy. This comes real indifferent to me. It's something that I'm not used to. So what I mean when I say that is just like, they always say, like, your first sale usually comes from strangers. It's so hard to get your friends or anybody that you know to like really purchase anything you're trying to sell because they can't see you as that business person that you're becoming. It's just like, oh, that's the homie, you know? That's the homie, you know? My life is changing now. The people that I'm around are all supportive and I am loving every moment of it because now I'm not questioning, am I doing anything right, if I'm on the right path as far as business goes. So with all that saying, like, we have merch out that's available now. It wasn't available before. It was just me just doing a trial thing on myself, an experiment, just to see how long packaging.
Yeah, I had absolutely nothing to do with nothing. I didn't put any effort in whatsoever. I never even shared an opinion on any of it.
What are you talking about?
Nothing.
Alright, so, like, this is just a trial thing that I was like, you know what? Alright, I'm going to sit there and purchase a shirt and see how this whole process goes. What it's like, whatever. So, technically, you know what I'm saying? I wouldn't think my motherfucking self. me. Now, so I purchased the shirt, that's 86 shirt, and, you know, just to see the quality and all that. Instead of just me, dumb me, I could have just got a sample. I didn't do that. I was like, you know what? Just buy it. And then I posted that I purchased it. Since that purchase, someone that's real close that I do admire purchased a shirt. She got hers. And I was so surprised and she was so excited. She was so happy. You know, it was just like, wow. You know? Like, because this wasn't a post that promoter advertised, hey, we're selling merch or anything like that. It was just like, hey, I'm just trying to see how this goes. I don't know what the steps look like, you know? I'm just out here. Seeing. Like, I'm trying something new. This is bravery. And for someone to sit there and look at that and be like, you know what? I support that. I support you. I'm right here with you. I'm going to encourage you to keep on going. It's totally different. It took me to process, and then it's no amount of gratitude that I can have for this person. It's no amount of gratitude that I can sit there and like the equivalent the value that she's given to me. And my dragon song is going to her.
She's making them emotional.
Talking too much. I missed that.
I missed that shit completely.
That's Steph Curry. What you mean? Like, did the whole shit. Like, first of all, that was a foul. Like, you seen clearly what I was going for. You really got me. You know what I'm saying? But look, I looked away too, because I knew. Splash. But yeah, so I want to give this highlight to Christina Rodriguez. She is a server, a really influential server.
She does not have $1 million.
She does not have $1 million. Man. She's fighting for her shift right now, man. Times is real tough, you know, and for her to sit there and even do that, you know.
It's cold outside.
Within the financial.
It's cold outside. You got hoodies out, right?
Yeah,
you got hoodies. It's cold outside.
Yeah. Somebody bought a tee and a hoodie yesterday, man. Like, yo, the amount of love that's coming in, yo, man. I can get teary, you know.
I love the love.
Shout out to her. You know, definitely for like
love the love.
Like sitting there boosting, you know, the confidence for me with this whole merch industry or this merch game or aspect of it. Like, I really appreciate that. Dope, talented, lovely individual.
Yeah, so we're mad grateful. Thank you very much. And we want to thank you guys for tuning in once again. We apologize for being 3 minutes late. We were 5 minutes late last time, so we improved upon that.
So you don't have a highlight?
If you were here drinking a Long Island iced tea with us, we really appreciate it. Thank you very much. And as always, we love you.
This episode was produced by Theo.